First ships around the world. One September day, a battered little ship dropped anchor in a Spanish harbor. Everyone was surprised to see her. The Victoria? Why, she was one of the 5 ships that had gone with Ferdinand Magellan on his voyage around the world. Where were the other 4 ships? And where was Ferdinand Magellan? When the sailors from the Victoria came ashore, they were thin and starved and sick, as men often were after long sea voyages. The Emperor of Spain was very kind to them. He was delighted to find that the ship had brought home a rich cargo of spices from the islands near India. But the brave Ferdinand Magellan had not come home. The voyage had been one of the longest and most difficult made by any sailors from any country. To begin with, Magellan's captains actually fought with him because they did not believe it was possible to sail around the world. Then it had taken a long, long time to sail around the tip of South America. The sea was rough and there were terrible storms. After a time, there was very little food for the sailors and no good water. Magellan said we must keep on even if we have to eat the leather on the ship's yards. Soon the sailors did have to boil the leather and eat it. They ate sawdust too and eat rats. After many weeks, the ships came out into a wide, quiet sea. Magellan called it the Pacific, or calm ocean. It was the ocean that Balboa had seen. In this ocean, there were hundreds of small islands. The first islands that Magellan saw were rocky and bare. When they came to some islands on which there were green trees, the sailors were happy. The natives who lived on the islands came out in their boats bringing bananas and coconuts, and nothing had ever tasted so good to the sailors as those sweet, ripe bananas and the fresh milk of the coconuts. In the islands that we now call the Philippines, the Spaniards found the Indians friendly for a time. Then fighting began, and Magellan was killed by a poisoned arrow. The Trinidad was captured by the Portuguese sailors, and as the other ships turned back or were lost, the Victoria was the only ship left to go on. Her voyage really proved that the world was round. No one could doubt it any more. But it was her captain, not Ferdinand Magellan, who won the right to use as his coat of arms a globe with the words, "You have first sailed around me."